Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. And with me, of course, is my co-host, the numbest of skulls, Mr. Numbskull. There he is. We are currently in our new studio. We just got a new studio. We spent all the Patreon money on that. It cost $14,000 for this new studio. Per month. I feel like it was a good investment.
We definitely didn't get fleeced.
No, I feel like this simple black background with both of our cameras and a small scrolling thing at the bottom was worth $14,000 a month. I mean, the guy really sold me on it. I really feel like was a good investment because it really brings up the quality of our recordings. No, we're just kidding. We're trying out this new one. We're gonna see if it works, if you guys like it, and we'll upgrade to some better digs here, and we'll get some more branding on it and everything. We're trying out StreamYard, # not sponsored. But if you watched last week's podcast, you know that we were having some issues with slobs. We were having some issue with Streamlabs OBS. It was turning Numbskull into a robot. He was having some connection issues. Yeah. So we're gonna try this, and it seems to be pretty smooth. If it goes smoothly, we'll probably upgrade to this one. But moving on to other news. How you doing, Numbskull? What are we at?
I'm great, man.
Number 16 ranked in the world right now.
This is going to be very off-brand and borderline unacceptable for some people to hear, but I am not mythic yet.
Oh my God, Becky. Listen, I'm not even mad at you, dude. I've kind of given up. It's miserable out there. I'll tell you what, standard and even alchemy is miserable. I'm flat diamond 1. I was diamond 3 as I normally am.
You're in diamond. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, yes, diamond. I mean, I missed mythic probably about 50. Did I say I missed mythic about 5 minutes? I was grounding out mono red, and I missed it by about 5 minutes. The season ended right when I won my final mythic game.
Oh wow. Yeah, it'll let you finish the game, but it won't count it towards your.
No.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of decathlon.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. I've jumped into the brawl space.
Nice. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
So I feel like maybe we're both in that mood, but the season before the new release is miserable. It's a miserable season. The meta is stale. It's locked up. It's a lot of control. It's a lot of grinding. There's really nothing fresh going on.
Yeah, that's a reasonable statement.
Yeah. So
everything seems so figured out.
Yeah. And in other news, the reason we didn't have a podcast last week is you can hear from my residual cough. I had COVID. I mean, I had pestilence, 1 black mana. I didn't say that word. Don't demonetize this, YouTube. I had a sickness, a certain very notorious sickness, which made me very tired, and that's all it did. It just made me want to sleep. I really didn't have any other effect from it aside from a small cough. And if I was awake, but by the end of the day, I was just like that was probably, and that was the worst thing. Is like Tuesday night was the worst night. Wednesday I felt okay. Wednesday was not great, but by like Thursday, Friday, Saturday of last week, I felt fine. I felt normal. Like I said, I was sleeping in an extra maybe two hours because I was kind of tired, but I didn't have any kind of serious things. But I'm better now, so we're back at it. We're here on the Black Council podcast, which we are having a great time with. And we want to say thank you to our patrons for supporting us through all this. The good news is that when we miss an episode, you guys don't get charged for that episode. You got a little break there. Do you want to read them off, or you want me to read them off? We want to thank our patrons.
I don't have it pulled up. If you want to go ahead,
I got it. We have a few new ones. We want to say hi to
really nice.
Xylo Beast and
Hey, Xylo.
Mr. Breams. I don't know who that is. Is that somebody from your?
Breams.
Yeah, I don't know if that's from mine or yours or just a random person.
I'll have to ask, but thank you nonetheless.
Yes, Van Breams. And Xylo is here now, the great Xylo Beast from my stream. Jamel, Stumfa, Trexodactyl, Magic Studios, Lord Gypticus, the Flipticus, Sanonosaurus, Cassius, Nickel Nuts, H-Man, of course, Altveer, Dante Valentine, the cleverest of sounds, and Paradabo, OG patrons all around right there. Thank you so much. You can join our Patreon by following that link scrolling by on the bottom right there, patreon.com/theblackcouncil. You can also just follow any link in the pinned comment and in the pinned chat. It's all over the place. You can give as little as $1 a month if that's what you want to get your level as. $1 a month, $1 an episode, $5 an episode, $5 a month, whatever you want to do. You will not be charged unless we make a recording. So if you want to pledge $1 an episode, if we only get out 2 episodes because I'm horribly ill again, you're only going to charge $2. So we want to say thank you. This is really helps support us. Basically, the money we get just buys us cards in Arena. That's basically all it's doing.
It just kind of makes it so that we can continue to have all the new cards and and make the content that way. And whenever that new set drops, okay, Jay and I have our $100 to $200 to dish out towards it, and then maybe we can grab the alchemy set as it, or not the set, but the alchemy
the bonus
bundle
boosters,
as it comes out.
Exactly.
It's just kind of like this is a way. It's almost like, think of it as like you're crowdfunding. You'll see the decks and everything. Maybe you don't have all the wild cards, but you throw in $1, it starts to add up, and you're almost like crowdfunding, being able to see, especially because you get input on the decks. You're almost like crowdfunding, being able to see whatever deck you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And of course, when you have input on the custom decks we make, you do get access to our private Discord server. And of course, you're going to have access on my channel to the secret videos that we post up for patrons only.
Mm-hmm. Which will see extra gameplay of said decks that we will make live on the podcast.
Yes.
When we record it, we might play a couple games on there just to kind of showcase it, get our feet wet, and then after that, you'll see like an actual, you'll see me play it in best of 3, you'll see Jay play it in best of 1, be it on ladder or in events and stuff like that. So we definitely think you guys will enjoy it. And I know people, or I should say the patrons so far have enjoyed the gameplay, and they definitely enjoyed the decks that we've made. So we look forward to being able to keep doing that for you guys.
Absolutely. And it'll also help finance stuff like this $14,000 a month we need for this studio that I just bought. I'm an enormous credit card debt.
We did it. We put it on Jay's card this time.
We put it on my card. He charged me
I
a
don't
year
even
in
have
advance.
credit good enough for that.
Yeah,
a year in advance.
It's $14,000 a month, but it's a year in advance. So it adds up, guys.
Cash up front.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So but seriously, we'll probably get a subscription to something like this, so we can get it a little bit more professional and just reinvest in what we're doing. So we'd love you to join. We'd love you to be part of the Black Council. So today we're talking about some happenings, some goings on, some intrigue going on in the world of Magic the Gathering, which is Phyrexia, All Will Be One. Specifically, the leaks and the unofficial spoilers that came out. Very, very controversial, very hot button. So I want to tell you guys, if you're not interested in seeing these leaks, in seeing the spoiled cards, this is not the episode. Watch no further. I'm going to warn you. We're going to put them up on the screen.
Yeah,
I'll give you a warning when I'm going to put them up on the screen if you don't want it spoiled. First, we're going to have a little discourse about the leaks because there was a little bit of people being upsetty spaghetti about the whole concept. and I want to get into that some and get your guys' opinion on it, and leave a comment or leave something in live chat about what you think about these leaks. But I'm going to warn you again, the leaks are going to show up on your computer screen in case you're watching, or if you're listening in the audiobook version, they will actually be downloaded through Spotify and forcibly into your brain. We have that power. No, but yeah, if you're listening in audio version only, you're fine. But if you're watching the video version, they are going to come. So what I want to say is that some people on certain places, these leaks popped up, I believe, on Reddit. They appear to just be very poorly kind of focused and hastily done photographs of somebody having access to the cards, to the actual printed physical cards.
They're trying to sneak it.
They're trying to sneak it before they got caught. Their thumb is covering a lot of the stuff of things. Websites have tried to clean it up, but it's kind of a mess. It's blurry. There's shine on some of them. You can barely read some of them, but still, this is a lot. I don't think it's all of the cards that are coming out. It is a whole lot of cards being released here. So we wanted to go over those spoilers and just talk about spoiling in general and what it's about. So if you haven't seen, I think like I said, they showed up on Reddit and they really show off. There's a lot of power level going on in Phyrexia right now. They're swinging some meat and some that sweet schmeat in Phyrexia right now, because wow, these are big ones. I was not upset. I'm gonna look at spoilers. I don't care about spoilers. I watch all the trailers for movies. I don't care about knowing information. I'm a little shocked that Wizards had this bad of security, that somebody was able to get a phone and all the cards in. But I personally don't see a problem with looking at them, and I'm not mad that I got to see them. I'm going to be seeing these cards a million times over, when they're released. If I see them early, if I see them late, I don't really care. What's your take on the spoiling?
I have a lot of things to say. Let me preface it with that. These were sent to me and by one of my subscribers on Twitch, and he said, "Hey, can we go over these on stream tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So personally, I don't care. I think that as a creator, as someone who is expected to make decks with the new cards that come out, who's expected to play competitively with or without these cards, or at least be aware of them to know if they're good or not, and then to be able to speak on if they're good or not, I'd like to know about them as soon as it hits the internet, personally, or as soon as it hits whatever medium I can view it. I definitely am not, on that whole, they're, ruining the release, whatever. Listen, you can't even rule out that Wizards didn't just do that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it could be.
That's kind of where I am with it,
I mean, it could be a black flag. Honestly, they could have done it to just build hype.
I mean, Wizards hasn't done anything in a while. There hasn't been a big thing to talk about for seems like a couple weeks now, other than just complaining about Wizards. You know what I mean? So maybe this is how they generate hype for it, because they did these for New Capenna. They had something like this happen with New Capenna as well.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I think there were a couple leaked cards from SNC, if I'm not mistaken. But it was just 2 or 3. It wasn't a lot. But I definitely don't remember one as thorough as this, because we have when we do leaks, we might go over 20 cards. I think we have enough to actually do a full leak podcast just off of these.
There's well over 20.
These mobile
maybe
images.
30. Yeah,
there's 30. Okay, yeah, so there's a good bit. So yeah, and then as for people who say, like Jay was saying, people were saying they're taking away from the actual Wizards reveal of the cards and things like that. Well, I just feel like if you own internet devices, this is just what you risk happening, and you just like sign that contract. Like it's kind of like saying like, oh, I took my kids in public and someone said a bad word. All right, well, you assume that risk by taking your kids in public. They're gonna have to learn what a bad word is anyway. So here's your opportunity to teach them. We're gonna have to deal with these cards anyway. We're gonna have to play these cards anyway. Here's your opportunity to get ahead of it. It's the same thing. You can't go about life, complaining about, oh, this happened, so it ruined this for me or for whomever. Well, sorry, it was gonna happen, and now it just happened sooner. So that's kind of how I view it.
A lot of people were upset. Block them. Why are they on my timeline? I don't want to see them. This is this is wrong. It's only going to encourage people to spoil more. It's going to make Wizards upset. So, and people were like, it's unofficial. You shouldn't be supporting rogue behavior. So there was a lot of people, there was creators kind of against it, who didn't want to see it and didn't want anything to do with it. And I can respect that, but personally, I listen, like you said, I've got to play with these things. I want to know what they are. I have friends that don't even like to watch movie trailers because they're like, it's going to spoil the parts of movies for me. I want to be completely surprised when I get to something I don't even want to know anything about. I don't want to even know a summary of what it's about.
I think it's also a little different with movies too, because I mean, yeah, you can watch a movie more than once, but like a lot of people just say, "Oh, I saw that movie," and then that's it. But these cards are different. We're playing with this stuff every day for multiple hours.
Yeah.
This isn't we're gonna try this card one time in one game in one deck and then that's it. It's like we're really gonna be using this stuff for over a year. So it's not to me it's like, okay, maybe you can feel that way about movies, but it's a little irrational to me to be that way about cards, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm personally not. I'm not that upset about it. And like you said, we have no way of knowing if this was a Black Flag op where Wizards specifically did it to build hype. Like, when a spoiler like this drops, it's a big deal. I haven't heard anything like what happened with the GTA 6 guy. Like they pursued him and chased him down and arrested him.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I'm sure they know who it is. And I don't know if he got in trouble or anything, or what event you could possibly do where you just have a handful of cards or something like that. So yeah, somebody broke.
Well, that's why I think it's a Black Flag, because it's like it feels like it happens almost every time we get like at least a couple cards. I mean, this is the biggest one. I definitely will agree to that, but it happens every time. It's almost like, okay, hey, you're gonna be the person. Okay, Susie, you're gonna be the person who leaks these cards to Reddit, and oh my god, we don't know how they got there, but boy will the internet love it. So go ahead, do your thing, and you're not in trouble, but we're gonna act like we don't know who it was, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Okay.
Who knows?
So that's kind of how I view it, but I guess at the end of the day, we have cards for you guys to talk about.
At the end of the day, we're gonna take a look at some of these. They're hard to kind of read. They're a little tricky to look at, so we're gonna do our best. There's a lot. So
I can't read to begin with, so this is gonna be a really real challenge for me.
Oh yeah, so there's a lot. I don't know how in detail we're gonna go over both of them. I kind of want to highlight a few of them. Some of them are almost illegible. They're so blurry, or they're blocked by something. So we're gonna do our best.
Yeah. I might move you over to my larger monitor maybe, so I can be a boomer and see some larger print.
But here it comes, guys. If you don't want to see, first we want to hear your opinion on the spoilers. Leave a comment, leave a message, tell us what you think. And here they're gonna come. I'm gonna put them up on the screen. Okay, spoiler alert. It's coming. It's gonna happen.
If you're at about 20 minutes in, you don't want to see spoilers.
20
hit exit.
So it's at 19. I'd say at 19:45. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna spoil it. Oh my god.
He's gonna spoil.
I'm almost there.
He's
all
close.
Right, he's come close. All right, ready? Okay, I'm spoiling. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, did they put more? I didn't even see
it would appear. Oh, you haven't even seen. Okay, we're extra spoiling.
All right, well, fuck it.
Okay, here we go. First things first,
Oh man,
we have a confirmation, guys, of.
I'm definitely a boomer right now. Hang on. Glasses.
You're gonna have to get your numbskull glasses out. First things first, as far as mechanics go, we do have a confirmation of infect. We are infecting. We have
We're
Phyrexian
calling
mana.
it toxic, right?
Yeah, they're calling it toxic.
Okay.
We have Phyrexian mana is returning in some capacity, not a lot, not a huge capacity, but some capacity.
Is that the Kaya? Oh wow, there are way more than I thought.
Yeah, they're almost illegible, but they're on here. There's a lot of spoils on here, man. There's a lot of spoils, and this guy's thumb.
This guy's thumb.
Yeah. So that's, you see, it's literally just the guy holding and taking pictures with his phone.
Oh, here we go. Now I'm full screen. This is way better. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
We're good. We're good.
You're going to want to get it at full screen. So I don't know how legible these are regardless, but here we go.
It looks like when you don't scroll, they get a little bit easier to read, and like you don't hover over them or anything. You know what I mean? If you just like leave it, looks like it gives it a chance to catch up. You want me to go first?
Yeah. I think this one is going to actually be a meta shaker right here. Soulless Jailer.
I'm inclined to agree just off that first ability. So, also, so it's a 2 mana. We got a colorless guy here. It's an artifact creature, Phyrexian Golem. It's an 0/4. So we're already talking about a nice little draft card too, because that's like acting as a wall, making it very hard for your opponents to attack. But we didn't even get into the abilities yet. So permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Wow. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. So that's pretty important, because I know Kaio has been known to actually bring things from exile. I think Karn also. So that's noteworthy. Equally, for me as a best of 3 player, hell of a sideboard card, can fit in any deck. Definitely noteworthy. It also makes me wonder, because we don't have, like, there is some graveyard stuff in like Standard and Alchemy right now, but there isn't like a ton. So it's almost making me wonder, are we going to be playing off the graveyard more in this set? You know what I mean? So I guess we'll have to see about that. But I think it's a hell of a card. Easy 2 of in a lot of sideboards for me. And depending what the meta turns into, it could be a main deck thing. And it's going to be one of those where we kind of see what happens with the meta when this set comes out. And I could see in other formats, such as like Pioneer, I think that might be a main deck thing in some Pioneer decks, because of like graveyard stuff. You know what I mean? Because that there's more cards, and like Historic, I think in on Arena, I could see Historic really using that card a lot too.
I think doesn't this basically ruin? Would it technically ruin?
What's his name? Greasefang.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it would also ruin, wouldn't it, Deadly Barrage or whatever's that one I always call gunshot decks? Because don't you cast those spells from exile? Don't you exile cards and then cast them?
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one, but yeah, if that's what you're doing, then yes.
Yeah. So very interesting shaker right there.
Yeah,
and it's Phyrexian too, so interesting.
Another Phyrexian. Hey,
we have a Silex here, a 2-drop Silex. This is a new Silex. You put oil counters on it.
Nice.
It's a legendary artifact. Sacrifice it. Destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value equal to the number of oil counters on filigree Silex. So it's kind of like what's that one?
Like Blast Zone.
Yeah, Orb of Annihilation, I think, did something similar.
Okay, yeah.
Remove 10 oil counters, so if you get to 10, from among the permanents you control, so you can have oil counters on other things besides this. And then you sacrifice it, it deals 10 damage to any target. So that's potentially a game ender. Right?
Any.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing that. What's that one artifact deck that lets you just like tap and untap things as much as you want?
Yeah.
With like with that like what is it, that one the Nicol Bolas artifact, if you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then it has the one where it's like if you cast 50 spells or something, you do 50 damage or
AetherHub,
something like that. The AetherHub. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be shenanigans playing off of that. But even so, just,
yeah,
you know, it's also just like a residual ticking time bomb. All right, I'm going to tap this.
Yeah,
all right, I'm tapping
it's building
it.
up.
Game's
If you don't
going,
deal with it,
you know,
if you don't deal with it, it's coming.
Kind of like the Dragon Spark reactor. If you let it go like too much,
if you let it go too long, it's gonna go
smack
nuclear.
you in the face and kill
Yep.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's cool. I like that it's 2 mana. You get it out there early. You start.
Yep.
You don't have to pay mana to tap it. Notably, I think that's great.
Obviously, artifact destruction is going to be a big deal in this.
For sure. Yeah, a Braid's already a really good card now, and it's just keeps getting better.
Okay, here's Glissa Sunslayer, and give it that a shot.
Yeah.
Finally, some Golgari love.
Oh yeah. All right, Glissa, Glizzy Sunslayer, the 3 mana, some Golgari Phyrexian Elf, and look at this, First Strike and Death Touch. Now, we haven't had one of those in Standard for a little bit, and that is a hell of a combination of combat abilities. Because basically any you can't block it. Basically, you can't block it. I mean, you can, but you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
So
no matter, you could block it with 3 people, and and you can assign the Death Touch. If I remember the mechanics correctly, you can assign 1/1/1.
Yeah, because any amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you would need 4 creatures to block this, and then all 4 of them, you better hope that they can all deal 3 damage or more.
Yeah.
So that's noteworthy. So I think people were talking about this is going to be a commander favorite from the set.
Probably.
I believe it is like a standard card, but they're talking about screw that. This is a commander. This is my new commander in my elf deck.
Yeah.
So she has obviously you don't want to block her, so naturally she has benefits to dealing combat damage to a player. Draw a card, lose a life, destroy an enchantment. Wow. Remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. Hey, remember when a 3/3 First Strike and Death Touch for 3 was already OP? Well, how about we give you 1 of 3 abilities to choose from whenever
we're going in
your opponent can't block it
harder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, here is the culmination of power creep. If you didn't think it's real, it is. It's here.
Yeah.
It is that. That's power creep.
Yeah.
If somebody asks you, if you need to explain it to someone, show them this card, and then show them like, I don't know, like one of those 4/4 trolls that everybody used to oogle over for 4 mana back in the day.
Oh yeah, Siege Rhino. I mean, as strong as Jund is right now, this and Jund with haste and stuff like that is just even worse.
Yeah,
really solid card. I'm going to be playing it. I'm happy to see Golgari start getting some muscle again.
They did have to buff Golgari because it kind of fell off after last rotation. So maybe we'll see an opportunity for it to get beefed up and a little more playable now. Definitely Golgari elves. Watch out for that.
Yeah. Quite a few elves. Here's a Phyrexian elf too. This is a disgusting Simic, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Ezrai, Stalker of Spheres. This is a legendary creature, Phyrexian elf warrior. It's almost impossible to read. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, proliferate twice. So we have the return of
3.
proliferate. Oh yeah, you may pay 3. If you do, proliferate twice. Whenever you proliferate, draw a card. So we have the return of the proliferation mechanic, which I believe is put 1/1 counters on things.
Or anything just put an additional counter on something.
Yeah, anything that has a 1/1 counter gets another 1/1 counter, I believe.
But I think you could put it on planeswalkers too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I shouldn't say 1/1. It's any counter.
Mm-hmm. And then your oil counters we were talking about earlier. So noteworthy. They're trying to make you play Simic, Jay. Poison counters,
I'm not paying. I'm not. I told listen, my viewers had an opportunity. He said to get me to 10,000 by the end of the year. I'll play a Simic deck. They punted.
They didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
Punted. Exclamation punt.
Yeah.
I will say maybe like Sultai though.
Sultai, yeah. I mean, Sultai Zombies was the only good Sultai in my opinion. So
maybe like a Sultai Infect.
Yeah.
Could be a thing. We'll see. We got one of our. So here's like the new thing going on with the lands. Razor Verge Thicket It is a land. It's a rare. ET it enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So it's like kind of the opposite of like your haunted ridge and your what is that, the overgrown farmland or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those other lands that came in like Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt. Now it's the other way around. So this might be more for your faster decks, maybe. It's, you know, maybe better in some of these aggro builds. Because it's weird, because it's like, do I put the ones that come in tapped unless I have or like, do I put this one in and the others? Because what if I like don't, what if I draw them in a weird way and I really can't like play hardly anything?
Yeah,
until,
I
like,
think it's
turn
going to
4.
depend if you're going
You know what I
long
mean?
or short. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go
Yeah.
aggro, you would
Mhm.
want to do this, you know, if you're trying to get
Yeah.
early. So it's really going to, I mean, I would split the difference. I do like 2 and 2 just in case.
Okay.
Because if you're playing
I
on
get-
arena,
I
you're going to
get
get
what you're
mana fucked no matter what. So it really doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, this is like kind of the new, this is what they're doing with the rare lands. So just kind of be careful. Think about what your deck is doing when you want to combine these with other lands that may have to ETB tapped, because you don't want to screw yourself out of being able to play things that you want to play.
And here goes Screvel, the Deflector Mite. 1 white, immediate drop, legendary artifact creature, Phyrexian Mite. This is a little skittery guy. He can't block.
Okay.
He has Toxin 1. Toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage this creature also get a poison counter. Ooh.
Okay.
By the way, guys, if you don't know, 10 poison counters, you lose the game. You're dead.
That's it.
That is an old mechanic. That mechanic is from like Revised or something like that. It's a very old, maybe it even before that. I have to double check. That goes way back into the early 90s. That's a mechanic from. Choose a color. You can pay Phyrexian mana, which means you can pay 2 life or white. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color. It can't be blocked by creatures of that turn, so this guy will get the poison downstream fast.
Remember, it says another.
Yeah.
So it can't do it to itself. But
yeah,
if you're running an infect deck, you probably have a bunch of infect creatures that you have on the board. So go crazy.
I mean, imagine if they're running mono black and you just say black and you push across a humongous monster. Can't be blocked by any black creature.
Oh, and it gives it Toxic 1. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous as a 1 mana thing.
Yeah.
And it can't be, wow, that's
So I think this guy's on site.
Wow.
To be fair, this guy is.
Yeah, there's your cut down,
he's smash on site. Bolt. Yeah, you can't let this guy on the board.
I mean, just, you know, he's a little guy, but just, you know, there are little spiders that kill you. I just like kind of think of him as that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
They're little bugs that'll kill you. So, yeah, highly effective. And if you wanted to announce that infect is here, that is one way to do it. We have another artifact here. I think it costs 3. Does that say 3, Jay?
3. That appears to say 3.
Okay. Mirren Safe House. As long as it's on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all land cards in all graveyards. Yep. What the hell? All right. Well, sweet. Cool, dude. Yeah. That's notable. I think maybe in those Titania decks, you know what I mean? Milling the lands and playing them from the graveyard and this and that. I think that's a little added bonus to that kind of. So that means that you could use that actually to meld then, correct?
I think so, yeah.
With Titania. Okay, so that's
it's activated ability, so it would depend if that's if that's technically an activator.
Melding, I think, is triggered when you do something. But you can activate it and get that 2 mana creature, or that 2/2 creature for like 4 mana or whatever. It just like starts shitting out 2/2s. So that's noteworthy. Especially like, oh man, I just milled that. I forget the name of that land actually. That mills with Titania.
It's Gaia's Cradle or so. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just milled that one and I need to get it back. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I have the safe house and I just use this for that now. You know. Cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, is that a Tyvar?
This is Tyvar. Guys, if you like Tyvar, he is safe. He did not get completed. This
Nice.
is another Golgari, Jubilant Brawler. It appears to be 1 green, 1 black, and 3 or 1. It's so blurry I cannot tell. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Untap 1 target creature, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. He starts with 3. I actually really like.
I think it's a 3 mana.
Yeah, it's very hard to see.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a 3 mana because 3 loyalty. You know,
possibly. Yeah, he is about moving fast though, so we'll have to see. He appears to have metal hands and is punching a Phyrexian, which is funny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did not get completed, so that's good. Not much to say about him. I like him. Again, Golgari power, man. I'm a Golgari fan, so I'm happy to be seeing it.
Hell yeah. All right.
Malcator, Purity Overseer.
Yeah, all right. So 1 mana, then a white and a blue. When it ETBs, you make a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact. Beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, you get another 3/3. Okay, so just kind of continuing off of your Azorius artifact deck, you can get some maybe they might have affinity things going eventually. Does that say he's a wizard or something?
He's a Phyrexian something wizard.
Elephant? Does that say elephant?
I don't know what it's. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
He doesn't look like an elephant, so I'm not sure.
He doesn't. He's a Phyrexian. I couldn't tell you, man.
Okay, well that's fine.
I think that his biggest weakness is he's a 1/1.
1/1 for 3 is kind of rough.
Yeah, that's not great. That's especially with the amount of red there is right now. He's going
and he's not an artifact himself, so Urza doesn't lower his casting cost.
No.
Okay, yeah, a little slow, but maybe in I don't know. Maybe he fits in somewhere.
Here's Kaya, Intangible Slayer. She survived, guys. She's not completed. 2 black, 2 white, and 3. This is a big old planeswalker here at a big beefy 7, but she is hexproof. Holy shit. So there's no way getting rid of her unless you directly attack her. +2 is each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. That's her plus. You may draw 2 cards. You may draw 2 cards, I think. Then each opponent scries 1.
Scry. Yeah, may scry.
Yeah, and then -3, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't I can't tell what that is.
An aura?
An aura?
If it wasn't an aura?
Maybe create a token copy of it with a 1/1. It's a 1/1 spirit. That's all other type. So
okay. Kind of weird. I don't know. That's almost a little underwhelming. We're so used to. Maybe we were spoiled with the last Kaya. She had such a good ult. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Having a Kaya emblem on the 5-drop Kaya from Kaldheim was it's pretty hard to lose if you had that.
Even the double the amount of tokens Kaya was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was still good too. If you're doing a tokens thing. This one, it's no real, but I've also never seen a planeswalker with hexproof. That's pretty noteworthy.
That's very powerful. You're not getting hit with removal. They got to directly attack you.
Mm-hmm. So I don't hate it, but I guess I was hoping for like a crazy ult, kind of like last time we had a powerful Kaya. But I'm also glad she didn't get completed.
Yeah, that's good. Encroaching Microsynth. There you go.
Mycosynth. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you can own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay, everything's an artifact.
Everything's an artifact. Bloated Contaminator. This is me when I get back.
Boy.
This is when I get back from eating fucking Taco Bell. I am the Bloated Contaminator. 1 green, 2 Phyrexian Beast. We're gonna put that beast in a situation. Trample, as it should be, as all green creatures should be. Toxic 1. Trample and Toxic, that's a... Oh, we got some Snickers action.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard her. That's how loud her meow was. It came over the microphone.
She's loud.
So Toxic and Trample, dangerous. Whenever Bloated Contaminator deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Yikes. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give them another counter of each time they already have. So yeah, you can choose any number of permanents and or players. So you can choose another player and say here's another poison.
I see this getting nerfed in Alchemy.
Oh yeah, this is very powerful.
And or Abandoned State. Why is it only why
it's
is
a
it
3-drop 4? First of all, a
3/3
a 3/3 4-drop trample is already fucking viciously powerful. It's more powerful than what was that one that it's like damn near as powerful as the Overwalden monstrosity. Yeah.
Oddity, yeah.
That's a 4/4 trample for 4. Can mutate at like 9 or 8 or something. This thing is 1 less and poisons you. So
just doesn't have haste. That's the only trade-off. But the 1 less mana is really something. And it's not legendary.
No, you can have a bunch of these. And
the fact that
also,
it is legendary is unreal. So it looks like they're trying to make green strong again too, like mono green.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't have haste, I got a simple solution for you right there. It's called fucking Run Gruel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, easily.
Put Hammer Hand on him, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with all the mana that you save, that's pretty easy.
You get my favorite guy right here.
Ooh, what's this? The Knight. Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladehold. Look at that fingernail on there. At least it looks like it's in the sleeve, maybe. I don't know. But 3/4 for 4, it is legendary. He's a Phyrexian Knight. The horse even looks like it's Phyrexian, which is kind of dope.
Yeah.
Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Not too crazy, but it could add up if you have a lot of creatures, At the beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal combat damage to 1 or more players this combat, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's the Toxic Knight. He's literally the Toxic Avenger.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're putting infect in like a bunch of colors.
Yeah.
We're letting everybody get it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like it. 3/4 for 4 with the abilities that he has. I think it holds enough value.
Oh yeah, I think in a Knight deck. So really good stuff there. I also like that he's called Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladehold. That's an awesome name. Monument to Perfection. We have some sort of Elish Norn looking thing here. 2. It is an artifact. Search your library for a basic sphere or locus land card. We have not yet seen what the hell these are talking about.
Put it into your hand and shuffle. Okay.
Put it in your hand and shuffle. Monument to Perfection. You pay 3. It becomes a 9/9 Phyrexian construct, loses all abilities and gains indestructible and Toxic 9. Activate only if there are 9 or more lands with different names among the basic sphere and locus lands in your hand. So basically, they said, I don't feel like Domain is powerful enough. I feel like Domain should be even more shit-wreckingly horrible. And you should have even more bonuses for playing every color. So, because obviously, if there's different names, you want a bunch of different lands. So yeah, Toxic 9 will kill you almost immediately.
Yeah. That's almost an OTK there. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Vindictive Flamestoker. It's a 1 mana 1/2. Another Phyrexian. We haven't seen many creatures that aren't Phyrexian so far.
All will be one.
Yeah. Is that 7 mana? You sack it, discard your hand, draw 4 cards, cost 1 less to activate. for each oil counter on him. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, he gets an oil counter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not bad. I could see like a red burn deck. And then, okay, I'm out of cards now. All right, 1 or 2 mana. I'm drawing 4 cards. He gives red, that card advantage that it didn't have. Or, oh, red's out of gas. Well, let me draw 4 cards real quick for 2 mana or something. 2-3 mana.
So, really good. I mean, a nice 1-drop, but lets you draw. I'm going to point out something here in the flavor text, which I think is funny about Phyrexians. So it says down here, her faith burns hot enough to sear away the flesh of the heretic. Again, Phyrexians specifically choosing and saying what gender they want to be, which I think is so interesting for things that are literally genderless machines. They've taken on the affectation of gender because they're essentially parodying life, and they know that's what living things do. It's a very unique thing among like Elesh Norn and Sheldred. They're clearly women. They don't need to be women, but they're choosing to be. Very unique kind of concept. I want to go into the more lore deep dives of Phyrexians too, and why they are the way that they are.
They chose the Phyrexian Nussi.
Yeah, they said, I want to have that Phyrexian Nussi. Phyrexians don't produce sexually, so there's no reason for them to have sexual characteristics, and yet they do. So they're essentially a funhouse mirror version of organic life. So that's why they kind of retained that aspect, which I think is a unique kind of aspect of them. Interestingly enough, because they could all just go by it, because they're just machines.
I wonder if it's also because maybe they reserve the right one day to decomplete or uncomplete something.
Well, that's the question, is what, physical perfection to a Phyrexian is the same thing as spiritual perfection. So it's a question, is are they trying to move to a point where they don't need completion anymore, that they can reproduce through, through some sort of weird, twisted method of sexual reproduction, which is, just unbelievably abhorrent. In some weird way. It involves a lot of oil and grinding, and an angle grinder and a MIG welder, and so who the hell knows? But I think it's a funny aspect of the Phyrexians lore that they don't need gender, but has specifically chosen it. Interesting. So I just want to point that out. Noteworthy. Anyways, I'm a lore nerd, and I've been dealing with the Phyrexians since 1998, so I have a lot of thoughts on them. This is, who is it? Monumental Facade. This looks like Elesh Norn's head. The Monumental Facade enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. It is a land sphere. Okay, so this is what we were talking about, a sphere land.
Here's a sphere, okay.
You add 1 colorless, specifically colorless. By the way, there's a difference between 1 and a colorless land.
Sure.
Remove an oil counter from the monument, put an oil counter on target creature, so you can actually use this to oil something up.
Okay, cool.
Oil up that Phyrexian.
Beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, so pretty good. So now we know. Wait, was there another ability? Hold on. Or is that
activate only as a sorcery?
Only the sorcery. Okay, yeah. So that's definitely noteworthy. And then there's your sphere. We have another type that we're probably going to see then based on that other thing. But yeah. All right. Mind Splice Apparatus, 4 mana flash. Beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on it. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter. Oh, wow. Mono blue. Wow.
More blue bullshit, as I say.
Yeah, there we go. And it has flash. Okay, well, we don't love it, but it's what happened.
Yeah. We don't like blue on this here podcast. Mirex, here's another sphere. Here's just a bunch of weird floating things. Add 1 colorless. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate as only Mirex has entered this turn, so it does give you 1 of your turn if it entered. Then you can pay 3, tap, create 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact tokens with Toxic, and this can't block. So I guess 1 Might tokens with Toxic is going to be like a thing.
Yeah, I think, yeah. That's a new.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's making 1/1 can't block might toxins.
And then they obviously start to add up pretty quick.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You get this guy. He's been all over the place.
Ooh, I like this. Okay. Venser Corpse Puppet. I think I saw this on the list that I had of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Blue and a black. Zombie Wizard. He's a Phyrexian. It's a 1. I think it says 1. No, is that a?
It says
a 1/3 or
it's a 1/3.
I think it's a 1/3.
1/3.
Okay. Lifelink and Toxic 1. Whenever you, I think that says Lifelink.
Yeah.
The hand's covering it, but when you proliferate, choose 1. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, create the Hollow Sentinel, a legendary 3/3 colorless golem Phyrexian artifact. Okay, cool. So there's a lot of 3/3 golem artifacts being created, notably. Target artifact creature you control gains flying and lifelink till end of turn. Okay. So you have that like ETB proliferate, then you get something flying and lifelink. That could be pretty useful. Rather transformative for 2 mana, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing more zombies, so.
Yeah, I know this is right up your alley.
So
flying zombies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're also Black Sun's Twilight here. We're getting all the Twilights. We're getting White Sun's Twilight, Red Sun's Twilight, because there was 5 moons over Phyrexia, and I think they call them the suns now or something like that.
I see.
There was one of each mana color over Mirrodin, which became new Phyrexia. So that's why. Black and X instant. Up to 1 target creature gets XX until the -X until the end of turn. If X is 5 or more, return a creature card with a mana value of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Cool.
Where once there was complacence, Sheoldred brought ambition, and soon the will of Yawgmoth reigned. I thought it said reignited. Monument transcription. So this is a monument to Sheoldred.
Love it. We're making a monument to the Sheoldred.
Yes.
What's really important there is in that card is it says up to.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to target a creature, and you can still get a creature back, and it's an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Instant speed reanimation.
Yeah, instant speed reanimation and destruction.
Flash reanimation. Yeah. And even if you top deck it and the board's empty, you're in a top deck battle. 5 mana. Wait, sorry, hang on. 5 or more. You can. Oh yeah, 5 or more.
Yeah.
Extra. So 6 mana, instant speed reanimate your Sheoldred, or whatever. Yeah. So pretty noteworthy. Malira, the Living Cure. Green and a white, legendary human scout 3/3. If you get 1 or more poison counters, instead you get 1 poison counter, and you can't get additional on that turn, which is great. So exile her, choose another target creature or artifact. When it's put into a graveyard this turn, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Okay, so it's like a reanimate if it dies, or like a like built-in like fake your own death or something.
They obviously needed to build in an anti-poison type thing. We might see more anti-poison type things in this because they're so prevalent.
I think it'll be necessary. Otherwise, everybody's going to play poison decks.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another Verinslex.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Graz, Unstoppable Juggernaut 8. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if available. Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control have a base power and toughness of 5/3 and are Juggernauts in addition to their type. So this is the Super Juggernaut. It's the Juggernaut King. It says, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do actually. I thought it was going to be a Phyrexian based on like the art. Doesn't it look a little Phyrexian like?
It does. I'm surprised that isn't. Honestly, I think they just ran out of room. It's a legendary artifact creature. It's obviously a machine with tentacles coming out of it. You'd have thought it was. Oh man, you get my new favorite ones.
Oh, here we go. Well, you've been having all the good ones anyway, so it's about time I get a nice one. I'm waiting for the. Here we go. All right. Archfiend of the Dross, 4 mana, 6/6 flyer. So you know there's gonna be like some type of caveat to this because it's too strong to just just get it for 4. When it enters the battlefield, it gets 4 oil counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from him. If it has no oil counters, then you lose the game. Okay.
You just need to make sure he's always drizzled in oil.
Drizzled in oil, or I'm thinking of that new blue card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to keep drizzling him.
Well, the blue card that makes everything an artifact.
Yeah.
And then on the last turn, you do remember that card Fateful Handoff?
Oh, you give it to the other person?
You draw cards equal to the mana value of the artifact, and then you give it to another player. And then on their upkeep, they just lose.
That's good, but I was just thinking about making sure you have this monumental facade and making sure you're pouring oil all over him.
That's also
adds
an
oil
effective
counters.
method.
Yeah.
I would say do both just in case you don't draw the other card or something. You know what I mean? It'll buy you some more time.
You just got to keep them oiled up. Everything you need. That's always the key. That's good advice for any situation.
An oiled up demon.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Blade of Shared Souls. 1 blue, 2 for Mirrodin, which is apparently a new mechanic.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Yeah, it creates rebels. Whenever this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach it to this. Whenever Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. More blue stuff.
I like the 4 Mirrodin thing though, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it just makes artifacts attached to a rebel.
Yeah. All right. Norn's Wellspring. When a creature you control dies, scry 1, put an oil counter on it. Okay. Remove 2, tap it, and pay 1, and then you draw a card. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
Little card draw for you.
Unctus.
This looks like a cool one.
Oh, look at this guy. He's a Vidalkin. He's Unctus, Grand Metatact. Metatect. He is some sort of surgeon, I want to say. 2 blue and 1 2/4 other blue creatures you control. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Interesting. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. You pay a Phyrexian. Until the end of turn, target creature you control becomes a blue artifact in addition to its other colors. So yeah, interesting artifact lord here.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that it gives like blue a reason to actually just like play creatures instead of just like counter, land, go, counter spell, whatever,
I'm glad that they're encouraging blue players just not to turtle the whole game. So
to play Magic, yeah, very good.
To actually interact with the battlefield in some meaningful way.
Yeah. Seachrome Coast, just another one of the same lands as earlier, just the white and blue version.
My brain can't not read that as C Chromecast. All right, now this is Chromecast right here. Now we're into the real. This is the good stuff. Geth, Thane of Contracts, 2 black, 1 Phyrexian zombie. Yes, other creatures you control get -1/-1. Yes, punish my creatures. I used to use the guy that Warlock. What was his name? He gave everyone in the game -1/-1.
Oh yeah, I forget, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Pay 2 black and 1. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it and put it anywhere. So he will just reanimate everybody, even though he makes everybody weaker. But honestly, if you play him in Orzhov, it's not going to matter because you can just put down 1 million. You could put Into the Trenches or Wedding Invitation or something like that.
Wedding Announcement. Yeah. And then you have anthems anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I feel like with everyone getting -1/-1, you could create some real janky bullshit here where anything that has a 1 toughness is being killed immediately. It's almost like an instant sacrifice.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so you play like the ghoul one, that gives you a token. So you just pay one and get a treasure token immediately because it's gonna die right away.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
So
Was it Tyvar who said that you would get that you can activate the abilities of the creatures as though they had haste?
Yes.
Wasn't that his static? So you
Yeah.
you play this in Golgari, you can actually reanimate on the first turn that he's out.
Yeah, if you had enough mana.
6 mana. I mean, you know, it's a little bit, but you'll get a 2-for-1. You'll get 2 creatures for 6 mana, and what you choose to reanimate, well, that could be something. You know, you could get a fucking Titan of Industry, and that would really be, you know.
Tablet of Completion. Put an oil counter on it. Oh, that's yours. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was sleeping on the job. Tap it. Put an oil counter.
Oh, I lost it. Okay.
Where did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's in the middle. Okay. I'm just give it a second. All right. Oil counter on it by tapping it. You can tap it to add a colorless. Only if it has 2 or more oil counters. Tap it and pay 1 and draw a card. Only if it has 5 or more. So, okay, it's just, you know, more oil counters. Probably good with, like, proliferate and stuff like that, you know?
Okay. I actually like this, believe it or not. I like blue unblockable. I think that's more of what blue should do. I used to run a lot of Dimir unblockables back in the day. 1 blue and 1 Mercurial Spelldancer Phyrexian Rogue. Can't be blocked. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. Whenever it deals damage to combat player, you may remove 2 oil counters. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Nice.
So I want to damage, and then I want to cast Invocacy.
Hell yeah.
And a Dimir. How about that? How about double invoke?
That makes give me like a fun reason to run blue in some of my black decks, you know?
Yep. And of course you have that land that can oil her up too. You listen.
That's a really good point.
You've got to. I don't know if the Numbskull. You got to be comfortable with oiling up your Phyrexians. Okay. You've got to become more comfortable with just pouring oil all over them. Okay.
I'll keep that in mind.
Everyone has to. It's got to be done.
All right. What do we have? Ovika, Enigma, Goliath, Phyrexian Nightmare. Wow. Oh, I remember seeing this one. 7 mana, but hear me out. Flying, ward 3, and pay 3 life. Comma, pay 3 life. So it has 2 wards, basically. Both. Mm-hmm. When you cast a non-creature spell, you create X/1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn. Pretty crazy. I don't know if there's a way to cheat her out or reanimate, maybe.
I mean, with red, you can treasure her out pretty quickly. Not as fast as you probably want, but I mean, it's a finisher.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes those Izzet decks it gives those Izzet decks some kind of pretty crazy top end, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it does have a nice finale for the top. I mean, it's basically a goblin aircraft carrier.
I like that. Yeah.
It's just a giant fucking helicarrier that shits out goblin.
Because doesn't that let you... There's got to be some stuff in there that lets you cast spells. Well, actually, no. You know what? Arcane Bombardment. I know it's a lot of mana, but you're casting that, and if you get like a big score in there or something, or whatever you get, and you're casting it for free, it's not the mana spent, it's the mana value. So you could basically say you get a 2 for every turn. You cast a spell to activate the bombardment, and then you get whatever spells from the bombardment, and then you get that many goblins. We might have to...
Yeah, a billion goblins.
We might have to mess with that and see how many goblins we can make.
Yeah.
When we make our next deck or whenever that time comes.
And yeah, that's good. And then if you want, at the end of the turn, just oil her up. Evolve Spinoderm, 2 green and 2 Phyrexian Beast. Evolve Spinal turn enters with 4 oil count. Oh, he's already oiled up. 4 oil counters on him. Evolve Spinoderm has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has hexproof. Wow.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter. Then, if it has no oil counters, sacrifice it. This is another one, man. You got to keep them oiled up.
Keep it oiled up.
You got to keep your spinal derm just absolutely covered in oil.
You got to oil that beast.
You got to oil that beast. Got to keep that beast oiled. Oh, man.
Okay. All right. There is another one. Urabrask's Forge, 3 mana. It's an artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on it. Okay. Every turn. Residual oiling. Create an X1 red Phyrexian horde creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice the token at the beginning of the next end step. So did you just make the anvil deck stronger by oiling them?
Oh yeah, we're oiling up that anvil.
So we have a moist anvil now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's dripping.
And okay. Well, I didn't want to see that because I don't like anvil, but
oh, you don't like
it's pretty good. I don't like playing against it because it's like so hard. It's just a lot to deal with, you know. But yeah, it's a great deck.
It's good. I like it. I'm probably gonna use that.
Look at this next guy. Love it.
Look at this guy, Kembra Ka Enduring. Bringing the cats. I used to have a Mardu cat deck. It was very powerful back in not Ixalan days, but what was that other one? The one with the giant monsters. The evolved decks. No.
Oh. Like
Ikoria.
Ikoria? Okay.
Yeah, you could build a really good cat deck. Anyways, 1 white and 1 Kembra Ka Enduring. Legendary creature, cat cleric. Whenever Kembra Ka Enduring or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. Then, of course, you can just play 2 white and 3 for a white cat creature token.
Sweet.
So, with a little bit of white, you probably make a good Boros equipment.
Are we going to get some more equipment cards, do you think, then?
Probably. I would say we're going to up the equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Skrelv's Hive. So we had a similar card to that in the beginning, I believe. Beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and make a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1. We've seen that before. It can't block. It also has Corrupted. As long as an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Ooh, creatures you control with Toxic have lifelink. Now that is a beefy 2 mana enchantment. You get a creature every turn.
Yeah.
And then eventually they get lifelink, which means that 1 life that you lose starts to become irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Copperline Gorge, of course, is just a fewer one here, as a fewer mana, 2 or less.
Oh, yep. Dragonwing Glider, 5 mana, 4 Mirrodin. Oh, there's an equipment. We were just talking about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
+2/+2 flying and haste. Pretty good, but 5 mana is a lot. Don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot.
It is.
So, pretty cool. We have that. And then, where else are we here? Then let's go to, what is that? Phyrexian Arena.
Yes. Here is spoiler alert, guys. Vraska got completed, and her snakes got turned into crazy Phyrexian tentacles.
Ooh.
And she was also, her and Jace were an item. I don't know, when he turned into a pirate, the only time he was cool. 2 black and 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. And he's so sad because he doesn't want to have the Phyrexian Hussy.
What is that? Just another same thing. 2 or fewer lands, but it's your Rakdos version.
Yeah. Conduit of Worlds. You may pay lands from your graveyard. We already have something like
Nice.
this, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's 4 mana too. So
You
that's
may
interesting.
well, it has, you choose target non-land permanent cards in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. So basically, you get a little bit of a bonus.
Okay. The Eternal Wanderer. Have we gone over this card before?
No,
I guess we
not
haven't
yet.
done any.
They
we
said to
haven't done
themselves,
any,
they said to themselves, how can we make Wanderer worse?
well, we haven't done any All Will Be One spoilers yet, have we?
No, this is the
besides
leaks.
today?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think it's whenever, or no, more than one creature can attack. Oh, no more than one creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. Noteworthy. It is a 6 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker. Obviously, the Wandering Emperor. There's her big sword, making a sword motion. Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature from that creature to the battlefield under its control at the beginning of that player's next end keep. So there's your like ephemerate. What is that? Hang on, let me read the exact verbiage there. Under its owner's control, which means if someone takes your creature, you can actually take it back that way. Is what I just read. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. For 0, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike. -4 for each player. Choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control not chosen this way. That's violence.
It's not a flash card. That's the only good news that I can hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have flash. I mean, I think it's good because it's like a way to combat a lot of the shenanigans going on, you know? And you can immediately use it as a board wipe. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's noteworthy, or like a pseudo board wipe. Definitely like something that would be in Commander that would make people not want to play with you again next time.
Basically.
Commander. I don't play Commander. Yeah.
Kethek, Crucible Goliath, 1 red, 1 black, and 2/4/4 Phyrexian Beast. At the beginning of your end step, if you may sacrifice another creature, you do reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal a non-legendary card with lesser mana value, put it onto the battlefield, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. He will just bring stuff off the top.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah. Maybe there's like a really good creature that you could find, but I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be value in that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Here's the other Twilights you were talking about.
Yes.
White Sun's Twilight. This one does have 2 white. I think the other one, the Black Sun, which is 1 black, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 white and an X. You gain X life, and you make that many 1/1s with the Toxic Infect 1. Can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. What was that one? In Blot Out the Sky.
Yes.
In Strixhaven, very similar concept, but now we're bringing Infect creatures into it, and you are gaining life off of it. Notably, it costs 7 to do that way. But geez, that is really something.
Microsynth Gardens. This is where we grow Microsynth. Land. It's a sphere. Also, Phyrexia is divided into 9 spheres. That's what they're referring to here.
Oh, good to know. Okay.
It's like planet within a planet within a planet. It's like levels. It's weird.
Okay. It's like continents.
Not really. Imagine that the planet is hollow and you can go down into the next level. And that's a sphere.
Oh, so it's like Lord of the Rings. Like Middle Earth.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
But more than just Middle Earth, like 9 Earths in the Earth.
Well, they're actually like there's another ball in there. Like the Earth is hollow and then there's another smaller planet inside of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and each one is like does different stuff. Add 1 mana of any color, which is nice. Microsynth Gardens becomes a target copy of a target non-token creature you control with a mana value of X. So it imitates
artifact.
Nice. Oh, artifact. Sorry.
But that could be an artifact creature for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the red one. Same as the white, where it has 2 in the cost. Destroy up to X target artifacts. If X is 5 or more, for each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Oh my goodness. Shoot. Wow. Red coming in with some destruction. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. But if you're playing against artifact creatures and you kill all of them and then you get copies of all of them and they all get haste, then you probably just swing at your opponent and win the game. As long as they're big enough.
Probably. You know? That's Urborask there too. That's his.
Urborask, nice.
Like. Yeah, Urborask. Urborask.
I think we're getting towards the end here.
We're starting to. We're almost at the Ratusi here. So, Throne, Breaker of Silence, 2 green and 3 legendary creature, Troll Shaman. This spell can't be countered. Thankfully, we finally have some more of these spells.
Thanks.
We need more of those spells. Trample, 5/5 Trample. Can't be the target of non-green spells your opponent's controls or abilities from non-green sources, and as long as your turn, it's indestructible. Finally, some way to deal with blue. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, I've been asking for this.
I like it. Zenith Chronicler, 2 mana, 3/1 Phyrexian Construct. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. That's interesting. Yeah, that could be a little sideboard action for you.
That
there.
Could be a little bonus. Yeah, I mean it's a 3/1. It's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's aggressive. So a little sideboard action in the sense of like, oh, everybody's playing Grixis still. Okay, well, you're my Grixis opponent. You're gonna cast all that stuff. All right, then I'm just gonna draw cards every time. Thank you.
So here we go. This is what shout out to Raven, who was talking about this immediately when it hit. Venerated
Raven's hype.
1 green, Phyrexian Druid, Toxic 1. Okay, so it puts poison counters. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gains a poison counter.
Outstanding.
So if they want to target your spell, or they want to target your creatures, they're gonna get that poison.
And you can target your own.
Oh yeah.
You know, you do your little.
You could do sacrifices.
You do your or just like buff spells. You know, like your little feather stuff. Your cheap 1/2 mana spells that either buff your creature or hell, I'm gonna give it hexproof. All right, well, it also you get a poison counter now too. You know.
Yeah.
Just all that stuff. Yeah, I see this being incredibly valuable. Another one of those very powerful 1 mana 1-drops. And we've seen one in each color now.
Yeah, really interesting here. Again, combined with Golgari for sweet wins.
Yeah. We've got a Masticore here. Okay. Argentum Masticore. First strike, protection from multicolored. Pretty cool. Phyrexian Masticore. Beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you discard a card. When you discard a card this way, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls mana value less than or equal to the mana value of the discarded card. Wow. What I'm seeing here is if you have a pesky token, I could actually discard a land and kill that token.
Exactly.
You know what I
mean?
It's
pretty.
So it's cool.
It's pretty big, but it is a beefy 5/5.
Yeah, 5/5 first strike protection for multicolored. Pretty good. Pretty good. I like it.
Here's the best type of Phyrexian music. It's seed core.
Very good.
Thank you. So we're listening to a little seed core here. A little bit of oil step after that. Land Sphere, add 1 colorless, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast Phyrexian creature spells. Love it. Corrupted, at target 1/1 creature gets +2/+1 until the end of turn. Activated only has 3 or more poison counters. So the more you're poisoning something, the more corrupted goes off.
I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. Ooh, this guy. Miglaw's Maze Crusher. Another Phyrexian beast. So we have a lot of Phyrexian beasts. I think they're going to be pretty relevant here. ETB, oiled up. ×5.
Oh yeah.
Remove an oil counter from him. Gains vigilance and menace. Cool. And that's by paying 1. Pay 2 and remove 2. Gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Notably, these are instant speed things. Doing 1, you probably have to do it right as you declare an attack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like if you already tap him, there's no point in giving him vigilance. So, yeah. So that's noteworthy. Oh, there's another one. Remove 3 for 3 and destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Pretty good. That's pretty good. You already got your power creep in that 4/4 for 3, and then you have residual abilities. You have proliferate. You have whatever. You have the lands that add the oil counters. He can get out of hand.
Oil him up.
Definitely needs to be removed.
Yes. All right, now we got some other languages.
Oh, do you got this one?
Yeah, Niali Vanguarda do Sol. 1 white, 1 red, and 2 Criatura Legendaria, Humano Rebelde. Asfixias atracantas que voce controlar tem golpe dulpo. Things that have something attached to them have double strike, I believe.
I think you're right, yeah.
My Portuguese is not that good. Toda vez que mais fincha que voce controla atacaram jogador, whenever it attacks a player, when one or more creatures attacks a player, exile a card no topo de su grimorio, exile a card at the top of your library. Durante cualquier turno en voce atacar con ficha, voce podera jogar aqueles. You can play that card whenever one or more creatures attacks a player. Exile the top card of your library. During any part of your turn, you can cast that spell. That's the best that I can do.
Okay, pretty good.
You want me to take this one too?
That one's just Spanish, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ixal, descendant of Atraxa, Vigilance, Toxic 2. I'm not sure what Voar is. Is that ward?
Flying.
No. Flying? Okay. So Corrupt, so at the end, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent, this is Portuguese, opponent who was at 3 counters,
exile a card do topo do proprio grimorio, which is your library, como un face votado para Vaxio. Okay, so
and then what you may do something with those cards.
Yeah, you may put any permanents into exile and pay mana as you see for any one of those from.
It's like pay mana of any color, I think. To cast it
something about that. Yeah, this one's a little bit more complex than Nayali.
Yeah, that was a lot of words in a language that I don't actually speak.
Yeah, my Portuguese.
I thought for a second that it was Spanish, and then I got into it. It was like, no, this is Portuguese still.
Well, they're very similar. Green Sun's Twilight.
Yeah.
I'll let you take that one since I'll just do it.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
1 green, play X, reveal the top X cards of your library, +1 cards of your library. Choose a creature card and or a land card from among them. Put those cards in your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. If X are 5 or more, instead put the chosen card onto the battlefield or into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Okay. I see that. It looks like it's a promo card, so I feel like that's going to be not that valuable and underplayed. And there's always that one in the set.
Yeah.
That they foil it out and they give it to you whenever you buy something, and then nobody.
And they're like, "Yeah, you should play this."
Yeah, and then everybody's like, "Nah, no thanks."
Yeah.
The only one that was ever like that was actually good was Champion of the Perished.
Yeah, that's the only one.
That was the only one recently that was like, okay, this card's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Look at this guy though. Karumonix the Rat King, 3 mana, 2 of them being black. Phyrexian Rat. Other rats you control have Toxic 1. Cool. ETB, look at the top 5 cards of your library, may reveal any number of rat cards from among them, and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Yeah, okay, sure. And then just Rat Lord, Toxic Lord. Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing
Canker
wrong with that.
Bloom. 1 green, 1. Sacrifice Canker Bloom. Choose 1. Destroy artifact, destroy enchantment, or proliferate. Interesting. Nice little sacky guy there.
I like that. A 3/2 for 2. Yeah, cool. We actually can't read this guy, but he is an elf druid. Something like Cultivator, maybe?
Yeah, Rustvine Cultivator.
Rustvine Cult. Oh, sorry, it's right below it. My bad. Put an oil counter by tapping him on him, so he self-oils himself. And you can remove 1, and then you can untap a land by tapping him. Okay, cute.
Bone Picker Scourge. I miss the Scourges. They used to be big in Phyrexian stuff. 1 black, 2 Phyrexian Imp, flying, corrupted. As long as an opponent had 3 or more poison counters. Bone Picker Scourge has Death Touch and Lifelink. Nice corrupted bonus there.
Sweet. I like it, yeah. What is that? Blight Belly Rat. So we have more than just 1 rat. That's noteworthy. Toxic 1, when he dies, you proliferate. It's a 2/2 for 2. Not bad. And it's a black creature.
Urbrask's Anointer. Oh, they're going to put some oil on him. People are going to oil him up. 1 red and 3, 4/2. When Urbrask Warrior enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. The more oil, the hotter it is really what we're trying to get across here.
Oil incentivization.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We need it oiled.
Bladed Ambassador. There's a white one of these, and these are all. If you're excuse me, if you're just like listening to the audio, this is these are all like the special art, the ones that we're looking at right now. It's like the special completed. I don't know what they're gonna call it, like completed art or showcase art, whatever. It's the Phyrexian All Will Be One version of that. So these all have really cool art. They're kind of like all black and white. You'll see them, if you go to the link. Anyway, ETB with an oil counter on him. 2 mana, 3/1. Pay 1 and remove an oil counter, and it gives him indestructible until end of turn. That's cool. Kind of like what's that 1/2 drop that where you discard a card to give it indestructible. Similar to that. Pretty good.
With the amount of soldiers that we have, I mean, it'll fit in nicely. Yeah. Necrogen Rot Priest. Here we go. Yes, cool. Please. Let's talk about cool. Golgari zombies. Phyrexian Zombie Cleric. 1 green, 1 black, and 2. Whenever a creature you control with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, it gets an additional poison counter. Target creature you control with Death Touch, with Toxic, gains Death Touch until the end of turn. It is a 1/5, ladies and gentlemen. That guy is not going away easy.
I like it. Out of cut down territory too. I like
oh yeah. Oh yeah, out of cut down territory. Yeah. We got some bad news for Nisa fans. We got some bad news for Chandra.
Nisa. Yeah, so it looks like that is that all green, and then the 2 on the right, is that Phyrexian mana that you can pay?
It's green Phyrexia.
Okay. So it's actually, I'm sorry, it's 3 colorless, 2 green, and then 2 regular. It's completed. Create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token, where X is Nisa Ascended Animus loyalty. So basically, as soon as you do it, you're going to get a 7/7, and then it goes up from there. If you keep plussing, you can -1 to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Kind of hard to read on the bottom there. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each forest you control and gain trample. Also, notably, you see this is a different fingernail, as there is an acrylic fingernail on here, thus propagating the notion that this is an inside job. Just saying, because now it's at least 2 different co-conspirators showing us these cards.
Yes. Now we have Vraska down here completed,
which, yeah,
we can barely.
They're not
read.
really showing it. And basically, you're seeing Vraska and Jace are completed. I guess is kind of what they want us to see here.
Yeah, they're going to be together though. Isn't that cute? they can have gross oiled Phyrexian sex.
Hey,
I
I think
immediately
maybe at
regret
the end of the
saying
day, I think Jace just needed some Phyrexianicity at the end of the day.
I know you do. I'm just glad Jace is dead.
That's the Phyrexian might token there. Do we have more stuff, or are these have
Little
are those
creatures.
the same logos?
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple more creatures there.
These are small. I think they're all uncommon.
Mere Convert, Toxic 1, pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color, and you can tap him. So basically, he's like a built-in like Phyrexian mana dork. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Thrumming Bird, 1 blue and 1/1 flying. Whenever Thrumming Bird deals damage to a player, proliferate. Not bad. Phyrexian Bird Horror.
Sure, Bird Horror. Sawblade Scamp, 1/1 haste. When you cast a non-creature, oil him up. Remove an oil counter from him by tapping him, dealing a damage to an opponent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that can get kind of fun.
He's a repository for that oil. Sinew Dancer. This is crazy. 1 white, 1/1. Tap target creature. Corrupted. Play 1 white and 3. Tap target creature. Corrupted. Tap target creature. Activate only if opponent has 3 or more poison counters. This is a common, so it's not very good. It is a Phyrexian soldier, though.
Yeah, it just looks like you get value from it if you're doing a lot of oil counters, because then you can tap a creature for 1 mana and by tapping that guy. So not bad. Quicksilver Fisher, Phyrexian Drake, 5 mana, 4/3 flyer. ETB, draw a card, discard a card. That's it.
Yeah,
maybe probably like a good draft card.
Yeah, good draft.
4/3 flyer
card.
4/3 flyer and draft with like a redraw.
Yeah,
it's kind of good.
Good drafter.
Yeah, that's probably about it.
1 red, 2 Furnace Punisher, Phyrexian Warrior, creature Menace, 3/3 Menace. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, it deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Ooh, a little bit of domain punishment here. Yeah,
get punished, dude.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're trying to run those domains, that don't run any basics.
He's gonna catch you guys slipping.
Yeah,
he's gonna catch you guys slipping. There's a lot of people not playing basics right now.
No,
and he's gonna catch people slipping quick.
2 of these guys out on the battlefield with mechanized warfare. I can see something happening.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, so mono red, like sideboard card, probably pretty official.
Yeah. All right. That's everything, guys.
Jeez, that was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah. I mean, we almost did the whole thing. And then we have some real stuff, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
They have like actual cards.
The actual releases.
We'll put the link in there. You guys can check that out. You guys probably already saw that already.
Yeah, these are the real ones.
We were going to talk about those, but we were literally waiting until there was more. And then by the time there was more, there was like 50. I don't even know how many.
It was a ton.
That was a lot. We spent a whole episode just
talking hour and a half.
This will be one of our longer ones.
Probably one of our longest to dates. So what do you think? Last thoughts. We'll wrap it up.
Infect is going to be crazy. I need a Varence Lex to give me half the counters rounded down.
Oh yeah.
So I don't get poison counters.
For sure.
And I need it would be cool if there was a way for you to remove counters from yourself and things.
We'll have to wait and see if there's some sort of antidote card.
Or what is that? Sanctuary Warden?
Mm-hmm.
Could you remove a counter from yourself? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it's permanents you control.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if you could benefit from removing counters from yourself to do something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to stay tuned and we'll see. Yeah, Infect's gonna be crazy. We're gonna make some Infect decks. There's gonna be artifact stuff. There's gonna be artifact Infects. All kinds of shit. It's exciting. It'll be transformative.
Magnificent.
Complete. It's gonna demand that you switch it up, I think.
And it's going to demand that you stay covered in oil. You got to keep oiling your creatures. You just got to drizzle that oil all over them. It's important.
Don't forget to oil up before, during, and after your magic.
Before, during, and after. Yeah, that's the best advice we can give you. Just make sure you are just greased to perfection. All right, we're gonna end it there.
Oh
I'm getting greased to perfection here. It makes Numbskull uncomfortable, but he's gonna have to get used to it.
Jay's gonna grease up before his stream.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have all the oil. All right, guys. We're calling this meeting of the Black Council to a close. I've been Jay Villain. You've been great. And of course, with me as always, Numbskull. You can find our Twitches down there. You can find our Patreon. You can find everything you need in the description. Thank you so much. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.